start on this Monday morning, but a feel good for sure. Troy Polamalu introducing himself to a guy who's a 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, next star defensive back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, working with the greatest defensive back in Pittsburgh Steelers history, at least just on the phone, teaching. And for those of you who don't remember how awesome Troy Polamalu is at teaching things, let me read to you his, just again, because this gets everybody fired up. Let me read to you his explanation of what the Pittsburgh Steelers is and what Steelers culture is from his Super Bowl induction in Canton, Ohio. This is what he said, quote, It is unnatural in the most competitive environment to train your replacement. Yet, this is our culture, Steeler culture. These virtues I learned while playing for the Steelers are what make the legacy of the black and gold timeless. They are passed down in the locker room from the steel curtain to anyone who valiantly wears the black and gold, creating a brotherhood that is deeper than money, business, and winning. To be a Steeler is to consider others before you consider yourself, to protect your brother even from himself, to give support at your own expense. And when wearing the black and gold suit of armor, make sure nobody desecrates it, disrespects it. Most importantly, we ourselves don't dishonor it. The only approval any Steeler should seek is the early approval from previous legends who have donned the black and gold. And if you've really earned the respect, they'll say you could have played with us. Now, I don't know about you. I got chills. Instant chills on that one. Troy is and remains the GOAT, dude. Love that guy. And to learn to just have a conversation with Jalen, after hearing that, you could only imagine the lessons that he was able to pass along in probably a short amount of time. I mean, you saw it. It's not there's no news here. It's just a simple question. How fired up were you to know Troy Polamalu is giving Jalen a warm welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers organization?
I am extremely fired up for two reasons. First, as the speech that you so beautifully read pumps me up more than like the Gettysburg Address. Okay, maybe that's a hot take, but to hear Troy Polamalu speak in any sort of fashion, he is one of the most eloquent and articulate players, maybe in NFL history. And the way he describes playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers makes it sound like a vocation, a calling, like something higher than yourself, in such a beautiful and sort of selfless way. It's inspiring. It sends chills down the spine, and it fires me up because that is not just a facade. It is not just an outward appearance. Anyone who's at any run-ins with Troy Polamalu, any stories about Troy Polamalu, anyone who's been a teammate of his, tells you how incredible this person is on and off the field, talking about the sport, talking about life, whatever. To hear about him having a conversation with Jalen Ramsey, whatever the extent of it was, and just the fact that Ryan Clark was sort of like the bridge between two gaps here, like it really speaks to what I think Troy Polamalu was saying in his Hall of Fame speech, and that there is this brotherhood, there is this connection that goes from generation to generation of Pittsburgh Steelers, and to see a reminder of that in what has been, I don't know, maybe the most turbulent, with positive and negative connotations offseason in Pittsburgh Steelers history, to see someone who kind of harkens back to that tradition, that culture, everything that makes the Steelers such a unique NFL organization. It not only fired me up, it's sort of like, it gives you optimism in a different way. And it tells me that these people from the past, the legends of the organization, are embracing this new path forward as well. It fired me up in so many ways. It was really cool to see.
It was awesome to see. And to be a fly on the wall during that conversation would be so awesome. And to be honest, like the Troy side of it is sick, like gets you super excited, fired up. You just feel good about it. It's been a weird week for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's been a lot of just strange conversation about have they lost their way? Is Mike Tomlin suddenly like the most unrespected coach in the NFL for some reason? Does TJ hate everybody? Does the Steelers hate TJ? Like, what's going on? Like, it's just been so much strange conversation to wake up, really to go to bed, because we all got that. It was like the 4th of July, which shout out to Troy for being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to walk away from, the fireworks and I'm going to go FaceTime. Although I don't think it ever gets dark in California, so I'm pretty sure that there are no fireworks. To have that and just have Jalen on the other side of it, just listening and being into that conversation and being a part to want to learn gets me jazzed up in a way that I don't think I've been in all summer, because it's been a weird summer and you're just going, just ride the wave and hope for the best. This is an optimistic time, but at the same time, it's a weird time. This brought some normalcy, some excitement, I think, in a way that we haven't had with Jalen. And I'm going to be honest, I'm more fired up about what he can do for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now than I was 3 days ago before this little picture came out from Ryan Clark. So shout out to Troy, shout out to Jalen Ramsey, shout out to Ryan Clark, even, who, has done his fair share of smack talking this summer on the Pittsburgh Steelers, has certainly made up for it with one simple phone call. And I feel pretty good about that situation.